Somebody tell me if you can't see this screen. I think we can see it. So, welcome to this webinar today. We've felt like it was really important that we hold this. We have a lot of customer feedback wanting us to do this more. We will attempt to do that, and it's a great opportunity for us to touch base and kind of help people understand where we're at, where we're going. Um, Already I've introduced, we've got Pavel, Rochelle that's here, and myself. He's the CEO of Roomvo. And it's this webinar we've kind of designed to kind of give you an idea of where the near future of things that are going again, which we typically do, but a lot of questions and answers. We gave people an opportunity to submit questions ahead of time, which was really good. Helped us a lot with that. So that's kind of the flavor. We've got an agenda here today. And so we'll talk about the current status of QFloors. And then what's new, as I kind of mentioned, some important dates, and then we'll finish with a lot of the question and answers. And in the what's new section, we also answer some of the questions people have been submitting. So there'll be a lot of that throughout the presentation. So I'm going to let Pavel kind of take it away here and go here for a second and see where we're at.
Right on. Thank you, Chad. And maybe before we get into the meat of our presentation here with the QFX status, I just wanted to thank everybody for all the years of support that we've had from you. We've had some great industry recognition, and that's come in the form of several awards that we've won. And in particular, I just wanted to highlight and thank you all for the votes we received in 2024, as well as 2025 for the FC News Innovation Awards. We've won that 2 years in a row, and I know that many of you have been voting for us this year as well. And so very grateful for your support and for your votes as we have our fingers crossed to have that award a third time in a row. And that award means a lot to us because that award comes from the votes that you guys give specifically. That's not an award that can be easily obtained or done so without your votes. So it means a lot to us. So thank you for all your support and everything that you do for us with the feedback you provide and the help in making us better. Let's move on to the next slide here, which is going to be talking about the status of QFX. And I know many of you have had some issues with QFX over the last few months. Certainly when we introduced the platform in August of last year, that was just about half a year after we had merged our companies together and kind of put the platform on new footing, which we've called QFX or QFloors 10. There have been some bumps along the way, and there have been some hiccups, certainly when we had introduced the platform as well. This chart shows a couple things. This chart shows a monthly breakdown of how, in red, the average time that we've had phone calls when people call into our technical support center. And in blue, it's the average amount of time that our tech support staff spends in order to pick up the call. So there's a couple interesting trends here. You can see that the average time that we speak on the phone is declining. And that means that it takes us less time to solve your issues when you call in, which is great. And in blue, it takes us less time to pick up your call, which means that there are just generally fewer calls in general, and we can get to your call faster. I think these are good proxies for the improvements we've made in terms of being able to service you and service you more quickly, and also are reflective of the issues that you're having. So if you're having fewer issues overall, then we would expect fewer calls into our technical support team. And if those issues are easier to solve, then they're solved more quickly, and so on. And so overall, I'm really happy that we have been able to improve the service and get things to the point where there are fewer calls coming into the support center, and that we're able to resolve your issues faster when you do actually call in. The thing is, I am still not happy with how things stand today. I think we can do a lot better. And I know that some of you continue to have some issues sometimes with the platform itself, whether it's being able to log in, or maybe having to restart and re-log in to get things going again. And I can assure you that we are not standing still. We are continuing to invest in the stability and reliability of the platform. We will continue to do so. We have several additional initiatives that we'll talk about soon here that we hope will improve things further. But rest assured that we have our eye on this. We continue to want to make the platform even more stable and performant. We're enthusiastic about some of these improvements here that we're able to quantify and share with you here. But we're not standing still. We're going to continue to invest. And we think even though things have gotten better over the last few months, things are going in the right direction. We want things to get even better and have our eyes on the ball here to make that happen. So with that, maybe we can go to the next slide and show you a sneak peek of a health dashboard that we have coming up here. We are slated to launch this health dashboard in July. This would be a way for all of you to be able to go into a web page and see what the health is of our servers across the country, to see how things are looking. And if you're having any kind of issues whatsoever logging in, or any kind of stability issues, you can pinpoint to see, well, how do things look like from our end? Is a server down? Are we having some kind of surge in demand on our side? And would that explain some of the issues that you might be seeing, if you're seeing any kind of issues? So we're going to be making this a public page for anyone and everyone to go into and get more insights from, to see how the health of the whole platform looks like. Hopefully that'll reduce certain anxiety about, are the QFX servers up? Is it just my server? Is it just an isolated problem to me? And if it looks like everything is green and healthy from your end, but you're still having issues logging in, as an example, then we would highly encourage you to call into our support center and report your issue, because that would be something unusual, as opposed to if you're having some trouble logging in and then you see that some servers are down. Then obviously we will have updates on this page and be able to say when things are going to be looking better.
Yeah, I think, Pavel, with that, we're looking to transition off of Facebook, right? To use this in lieu of that. So it'll be a transition period, I know, for a lot of people, but I think this will provide people with a lot more accurate information, and, like you said, less stress and better information about what's going on in the system. Right now, I think the way that we've done it in the past is a little confusing sometimes, and people don't get a complete accurate picture of what's going on. And so I think this is really going to help. And so we'll be using, as this comes out, as a transition from the Facebook reporting to now coming to this.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually a good reason for, the improvements that we showed on the last slide in terms of what looks like fewer calls to the call center and just general better reliability and performance. This has been, these health dashboards are actually a partial reason to that, because now our team uses these dashboards as well in order to manage the performance and reliability of the system. So we are monitoring things already very closely and have been for some time. And so we just thought it would be a great idea to release this more publicly to all of you as well, so that you see the same things we see, and we provide more transparency as to the health of the system.
All right.
Why don't we look at some new things that are coming up? This is very exciting. As you all know, we're moving fast, and we're moving faster than ever before. We're releasing new features, new capabilities. We have had some of those hiccups along the way that have caused us to kind of reprioritize the health and reliability and performance of the system, which I think we've gotten some really good traction with. And now we can focus a lot more on some of these new features and capabilities that are coming out. And in the case of electronic signatures, I know we've been promoting that for a few months here in terms of the beta program. And the beta program has gone very well. And at this point, we've got electronic signatures that are currently out and available. And Chad, maybe you can just give us a quick reminder as to what this is for those folks who don't know.
Yeah. So just really quick, what we're actually going to dedicate a full webinar next week, next Wednesday, to e-signatures. There's some things that people need to know, and we just felt like dedicating a full webinar to answer all your questions, what it can do, what it can't do. There are some limitations on what the abilities are, so we just want to be very clear what that is, and this is now out, and you'll be able to order it. The webinar, you'll see it coming out. It will be next Wednesday. So we'll be sending invitations out for that.
And long story short on this is that you can sign your contracts and your orders electronically with your customers. You can send those requests to have them sign it. And that way you have everything filed in QFX. All your orders are signed for and easy to find and easy to defend in case the need for that arises in the future.
Yep. Can I say one more thing, Pablo, about what you were saying about how fast we're moving? Like you kind of mentioned that before we came into this slide. It probably feels different to our customers because it is different. When there was only QFloors and there was only a few engineers, and some of what I did is we moved slower and we put out less features, and it was a much slower move. And the culture and where we've moved to, and I think it's a good change, is we're moving much faster, and we're bringing out newer technologies faster and better platforms and all that. So it probably does feel a little bit different to people in some ways, but it's a good different, and it's in the end, all of this is going to be advantageous for our customers and the whole industry in general. Does that make sense? You want to add to that, Pablo?
I'd also chime into that given how much faster we're moving, we're not perfect. We're going to make some mistakes. There are going to be potential hiccups in some of the features or things that or an impact on things as we release features more quickly. But we think that's necessary in order to bring things faster to you. And in the case of a lot of these features that we're talking about, a lot of the things we're talking about today and we'll continue to talk about, is that you guys have been demanding this stuff in droves. We've been very active in collecting feedback from you guys. And we know that you want these capabilities and you want them in many cases, you want them now, and that's understandable. And we want to bring these things to you and bring them quickly. And there's a kind of balance that we have to take, a bit of a juggling act where, on the one hand, we want to release them quickly. On the other hand, we want them to be fully functional and reliable. And so we got to take a bit of a balance there. And we've chosen a certain balance, but it is biased towards moving fast and developing these things quickly for you.
Yes. And it's good. It's been a long time needed. So thank you. Thank you, Roomvo, for coming in and helping us move this forward in a faster, better way. It'll be for all of our advantage going forward. So e-signatures, we'll have that webinar next week. Join us. And the answer to this question is it's out and ready to go now. So next question that we had is, when will we be able to add and remove, delete line orders? This has been in testing now for a bit. We're in a period of time right now where we're just kind of making sure that no more changes, and we've made a few adjustments. But we should see this within the next couple of weeks, and you'll be able to move your line order items up and down, and you'll be able to group these together. Our initial feedback that we're getting has been, I don't know, people are doing somersaults. They're doing all kinds of things. It's like the user experience is really, really good from what we can tell initially.
And Chad, when this is fully released in the next few weeks here, certainly by the end of June,
Yep.
This would be automatically in QFX. So you'll just log in one day and you'll see it.
Yep.
You'll see it right there in the software.
We'll let everybody know. We'll send out an announcement and everything, letting everybody know that this is coming. But you can see those little arrows moving the lines up and downs, and then that gray bar right there, that's a group. You can put line items in a group, right? So it's fantastic. Something that we've all been wanting for many, many years. So not easy to do, by the way, but we'll let that hide under the covers to all the engineers that put. I know what the engineers had to do to make this go, and many engineers working well into the. Well, let's just say that they didn't go to bed at night some nights. I know that personally. So grateful to all them. Okay, so this is a pretty interesting one right here. This, Pavel, and you can chime in here. This talks to what we're going to talk about here now is Roomvo Pro and QFX, where we're starting to combine these technologies together. A lot of this work that we've been doing over the last year and a half, putting us onto a QFX platform, and all of these new technologies that we're using that are new to all of us. It's in an effort to allow our technologies to merge together in a seamless way, and to move more onto the Roomvo platforms and technologies and away from some of the older things that we've been using in QFloors. And Pavel, if I'm not saying this right, or if you want to add to this, let me know. But basically what we're showing you here is what's called Roomvo Pro. And that is the CRM component, lead capture, lead tracking, sample checkout product that Roomvo has been developing over the last couple of years. And you will see right there on that little screen right there where it says sales orders, right? That is QFX sales orders. So from a Roomvo screen, and you won't have to log in again. It's a one login. Everything's combined. So if you're logged into Roomvo environment, you're also going to have access to QFX. So you press on that little button right there, and you will be able to see your QFX sales orders in the Roomvo product, right? So this is the first time you're going to be able to see like our products starting to merge together and starting to see the more browser based. We've had a lot of questions about browser based versions of QFloors. Well, this is the first kind of release that you will be able to see QFloors information more into a browser, a Roomvo kind of environment here. So one of these questions is when will we be able to see this? This is looking like, and Pavel, the information I got, and I think same one you got is it should be June timeframe, before the end of June here. So this is coming quickly, where you're going to be able to do that. So the second question here: are there any CRM management tools coming? This is the next generation of all of this, right? And in conjunction with this, and this is also to kind of illustrate what we're doing when at the same in the same time period. The cool thing about this is we're merging our leads and our CRMs together into one. So what that means is that if you happen to put a lead into QFloors into our lead screen, that would automatically show in the QPro or in the Roomvo Pro CRM product immediately. And if you put a lead into the Pro product, in the CRM Roomvo Pro product, you would automatically see it in the QFloors lead screen. So there's no downloading, there's no importing, it's if you put it in either place, you'll be able to see it immediately. The database and the data is shared between the two products, which is kind of the first time we're able to show you what it means when our technologies are merging, right? And this is very different than what you've heard or seen from other competitors in our space here. This is not trying to kludge products together, trying to patch them together, trying to make them talk. They are one and the same product. And I think that that's what the difference. And now we're going to be able to show you. Actually, you'll be able to use real in your real environment what we're talking about why we've taken so much time to create these new platforms, technologies, and how they will merge together. Pavel, you give me your take on this. No,
I think that was
that's how I see it.
that's a great description, and maybe just to make it very tangible for folks here that are on the call, this means that when you put in a lead in the QFloors lead screen, you and your sales staff and all your staff will be able to also log in to QFX on their phones, being on the go, and see any information about that lead right there from their phone, being on the go. It means that if there's a sales order that gets put through, you can also access those sales orders on the go as well. And basically, it makes all of QFX available from your phone and from the phones of your staff. So it really brings a lot of mobility capabilities to your fingertips.
So here are screenshots of what you're talking about. This is the mobile screenshots of QFX sales orders on your phones, the mobile version. So
Right.
this is what it looks like. So we have the mobile version, we have the iPad version, we have the desktop version of all this Roomvo Pro stuff. It's amazing, and you'll be able to
And
go
we
ahead.
talked about starting in QFX
Uh-huh.
and then going to see an update from your phone. You can also do it the other way around. You can actually be on your phone. Your sales staff can be on their phones. They can enter a lead, and then that automatically gets reflected in QFX when you log in there. So it's as Chad mentioned, it's all really one system that we've migrated towards here. It's not two separate systems that are jammed together, as Chad highlighted. And I know that's kind of a shortcut that a lot of other folks try to take. We've actually made this one single system. It is unified, and it will be released in June as well.
Log in at one place. We mentioned that. So one login, you get the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's awesome. Uh, and there were other questions that came in around this. The questions were mostly about when are you going to move QFX to a browser and that kind of. Well, now you can kind of see the start of what we're doing, and then we will move on to like the sales order screen where the lead screen is there. We're working on the sales order screen, and you'll just start to see all of these screens start to move over into a browser. And it will be a gradual thing. It won't be like one day we're on the browser and we're not. It's a strategic move to piece by piece move QFX into a browser. That's our strategy. Okay. Thank you. That was awesome. We're excited. Um, we have been working with the Measure Square people. They are finishing up their side on this new um, um, this integration where inside of Measure Square you'll be able to see the QFloors product catalog. And we already have other integrations with them, but this is just to enhance the integrations that we have. This should be coming again in June. They're working on it on their side, and we've been in contact. We've given them all the information they need, and so it should be coming fairly quickly. They're working on it. This new installer module that we have coming. So Installer View, I know many of you use that. Um, this is another product that we're moving from QFX over into more of the Roomvo Pro product. And so this is a migration and we're rewriting a bunch of things. What this means is that you will be able to have work orders on your installers will be able to get their work orders through their phones, which is what people have been asking for. You'll be able to store some pictures too, from my understanding. This is kind of in its starting phases, but we have people that have already started to work on making this one. So this would be installer view on steroids, let's just say. Um, we're enhancing it. We're making it so that there's no delays in it, and it'll be a good product.
And just
Anything?
worth also mentioning on the new installer module, this is also mobile friendly as well. This is leveraging all our capabilities that we've had as we're moving things further and further into giving you more mobility. That makes it a lot easier to schedule things with your installers. You can see from the screenshot, there's also like a little map there to help them find better ways to get to where they need to be. And it's just overall better workflows and improvements there. So I think you guys are going to like this a lot.
There have
And
been. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Chad.
No, I was going to say there have been some questions around labor scheduling and when will we have a full labor scheduling. It is on our docket. We'll talk a little bit about how we schedule new features and stuff like that in a second. But the new labor scheduler has been discussed. We have people that are working on that, looking at it, designing it. So that's in the works. It'll be down the road here a little ways, but just so you know, that's in addition. Anything else on this?
This is scheduled for release in Q3, and it looks like somewhere around the middle of Q3, in case you're wondering about timing here. So this is also we're very excited about this, and it's kind of around the corner here.
Yep. Thank you. Other improvements in Q3. So yeah, these are things that are being scheduled right now, talked about. Um, and stuff like that. So we have these new APIs. People in the past have used them. Not the majority of our, it's really maybe our API access in the past has been maybe 5% of our user base. So not, but we see more and more requests coming through for this type of um, access. And what this means for people that maybe don't know is it's a way that external programs can access our QFloors data and then use that data externally through a very automated process, right? Where you don't have to export a CSV file or export some kind of report and then put it over in here. It's the opportunity to grab data from QFloors real time and then use it externally. We this an example of this is Measure Square. We created an API for them to use so that they could then grab our product catalog and use it externally in Measure Square. So that's one example. So we are looking at opportunities. Our products team is gathering information on which ones we should focus on first. And this will be coming, like we say here at Q3. So we're gathering information about all this right now. Anything you want to say about SMS text messaging? So in addition to emails, we're looking into also making all of this communication with customers, not only in emails, but through SMS texting, Maps integration with Google, and also there's some other ones in there, address verification and real-time sales tax um, application into QFloors where you wouldn't have to continually update your sales tax tables. So all those are kind of lumped together in the same place. All looking at Q3 kind of release.
Yeah, I know in the past we have emphasized the SMS text messages, and those were actually slated for earlier in the year. But we thought it would be much better to put in that CRM platform first, because now we can leverage that with the SMS text messages coming on top of that. That's going to be super powerful. So we put in the CRM first, and now we got our eyes back on the ball with the text messages. That's going to be super awesome.
That was probably my fault, Pavel. Like, I think you've heard me internally how loud I was screaming for that, right? All of that integration stuff. So if you want to blame somebody on the delay on the SMS text, you can probably blame me because I was yelling pretty loud at everybody saying we need
I
to do
wouldn't blame you. I mean, I think that was the smart move to make. I think now that we've got the CRM and all the leads and everything in one place, having the SMS text messages come out now, that's going to be a lot more powerful, because we're going to be able to apply that
Yep.
to all the customer interactions. It's going to be a big game changer, I think.
That's right. I think it was the right order to do it in. Thank you. All right. We have this little bonus training thing kind of inserted in here. There's a QR code. That's kind of the end of the things that are coming up real quick, and then we might get to a few more things. But this QR code right here is a YouTube video that you can go to and watch afterwards. But I thought I would just kind of give you just a really quick, since we have everybody here, there's a couple of common things that people are really struggling with on QFX, and I just wanted to call those out really quick while we have everybody here. I don't want to take a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time, but if I can, let me switch to my other screen here. Let me see if I can get here, and then let's see. How do I let's see. I can't see my share button. Something's over the top of it. Oh dang. You don't know how many times I practiced this before, and now why?
And maybe while Chad's looking into that, I know there have been some questions already submitted in the Q&A here, so I can do a quick glance and maybe
Here we
tackle some
go.
of them. You're
Now
good?
I've got us here. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Hopefully you can all see this screen here now, right? So there's two things. People are really struggling with, um, or some people are, not everyone, but a few are struggling with saving documents in this new cloud environment, being able to save documents to our QFX site, cloud site, and then taking documents from our QFX and putting them on their local computer. One of the more common ones is trying to save a PDF document, save a report from QFloors down to um, down onto their local computer. So one thing is when you're doing this, I like this is my local computer here. This one right here, you can see. I like to create in the very root of the C drive a folder that I can copy to.
Hey Chad, I don't think we can see the C drive.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah.
Here, let me see. Try one more time here. Let me just do this. Okay. Okay. So we have our QFX drive here. And most of you will see up at the top when I have QFX, there's this bar. So if I minimize it right here, then it takes me more down onto my local computer here. And I can see my folder, my C drive right here. So when I'm on my local computer, right, and I can see my C drive here, I usually like to make a folder that I can put my QFX files into. So I name this A-QFX A, so it's always at the top of my list, my folder list. And there's some strategic reasons why you want to do that. This is my QFX environment right here. So if I click on that, it brings me up into QFX. So what people usually like to do, they like to create a report, put that report down onto their C drive so that they can then email it out to a customer. That's something that sometimes they want to do that for various reasons. And so let's just say that you have your report here that I've already created that you want to save, and you want to hit the print button on here, and you're going to find the Microsoft Print to PDF redirected. You want to use the redirected one. That means I'm going to redirect it back to my local computer, back to my local C drive. So if I push OK here, like this, it takes a second because it's redirecting it down to C. And now you can see that I can see my, on my computer down here, that A-QFX files. And now I know I'm in the right place. If I double click on here, I can now save this test2 like this down to my C drive. And if I come back to my local drive here and go here, you can see that now that document is there. You can get into your email and you can then email it from here. Okay. So that's how that works. The other part is sometimes you want to bring files back up and put them into Document Manager, right? So that's the second thing that people sometimes are struggling with. It's a new way of doing it in QFX different from what we used to do. So you just have to understand that it's a little bit different. And so if I'm on here and I'm going to use my document manager right here, this is my docs button right here. And you can see, let's see, I don't want those two. Let me get rid of these. Well, let me go on to a different, I'm going to go on to let's do it on this one right here. We'll hit docs. And now you can see this job number 161. And let's say that I want to move those documents from my QFX folder on my local drive into the doc manager. Well, what you're going to do, and this is what's different, you double click on this and it brings up a file manager and you can see job 161. So I know that this one is on my QFX, cloud, this folder right here. And then I also want at the same time to bring up my folder from that's local down here. I want to bring it up so that I can copy and paste, and you can do more than one file. So if I come down here and hit the copy button here, then I come back to my document manager up here, double click, and I hit paste like this. You can now see in job 161, it will paste. And if I hit the refresh button here, you can see those two documents have now been copied from my local computer up into my document manager on the cloud. This, we really suggest that you use this method now instead of the right click and the add. Some people can still do this, but this other way applies to everyone. So that's just a quick training. You guys can all go watch that other video now, and we'll get back to our webinar. Slight detour. Stop share and come back. And then share. Okay. All right. There we go. Hopefully that didn't take too longer than I planned. Just in before we get to all the other questions, just some important dates here. We are doing some intermediate trainings in Madison, Wisconsin, Cleveland, Ohio. You can go to our website to get more information about that. And then we have that webinar next Wednesday. I don't have a lot of time to talk about credit card fraud, but I wanted to bring it up. It's getting worse. And just to let you know, last year, we used to see maybe a couple of our customers that were getting taken by the credit card and getting chargebacks because of stolen credit cards. I'll talk about this later, but I just want to know cash and carry, credit cards, you've got to be careful. This year, we're seeing a 5 times increase in fraud year over year. And it hasn't just been 1 month. It's been the last 2 or 3 or 4 months. It's 5 times what it was last year. So if you're going to take a credit card for cash and carry, be careful. We have some stuff on our website. I don't have time right now. I'm just calling it out. Be careful for cash and carry credit card charges. The people are getting better and more people are getting taken. And we're seeing people lose $5,000 to $10,000 a whack on this stuff. All right. Just want to call that out before we get to the next part. Question and answers. All right. Here's the questions that were submitted. We want to get to these first. By the way, some of the questions that were submitted in here were specific to a company. They were not a generalized question. They're like, I'm having a problem with this printer or something like that. And so those we will answer. We'll have our support department call you directly because it really doesn't apply to everybody. So those kinds of questions we kind of pulled out and we just made it so that the questions here are the ones that apply more to the whole group. Okay. So our support team will follow up with you on those. So it's just kind of a disclaimer And if we have questions that you're submitting and that fall in this category, that's how we will handle those. Is there a Shaw Flooring Network discount? We got this question a couple of times. Yes. For people that are in the Shaw Flooring Network, we want you to know that there's a new program that they have for what we call the Roomvo bundles. And that would be a Roomvo website combined with QFX. You're able to use your BDF money to pay for your QFloors Roomvo bundle. So if you've got a website, QFloors, you can bundle those all together in one payment, and then you can use your BDF funds um, to pay for those kind of things. So great new program that Shaw's working on for us to help you get your whole QFloors and Roomvo products paid for practically free. You want to talk about this one, Pavel? Plans for AI in Roomvo and QFloors.
Yes, I know we're excited about this one, but at the same time, we need to test things out and make sure that we're building the right thing. So we have a preliminary beta program, and we could evaluate testing various ways of integrating AI through that beta program. And we would want to do that with you as soon as possible if you sign up into that beta program. I say as soon as possible because we obviously have our pans in many fires, and we're working on a lot of things at the same time here, but we'd like to get to this soon and get a better understanding of how AI could best help you. I know there's also been some questions around, hey, let's bring QFX into the browser, and that way there are some folks who use AI in their browser already based on whatever they're doing in the browser. So they'd like to use the AI they're already using within that browser to apply to what they're doing in QFX. And that is possible today to the extent that you use the CRM integration that we are launching next month. But we'd like to do more. We'd like to bring those AI capabilities natively into QFX, and we've got various ideas for that. And again, we've got this beta program where we'd love for you to sign up and be a guinea pig in a way, and help us, give us feedback and have us learn things about how to best integrate this and move forward with this so that we can put more formal plans together and have this on the roadmap for the coming quarters.
If you're interested in that, just post in the question and answer section so that we can capture it. Just say, I'm interested in the AI beta program. And then we'll capture that information. We have a whole team of people that work on that, so it's not just one person. So, all right. And then let's see here. What's going on? Okay. And then this one here, we had a lot of questions come in. When will this be available? When will that be available? When, I want this, or, a lot of suggestions were coming in. And so I wanted Pavel to kind of just explain really quick how we evaluate how how we prioritize and evaluate what's going to be done.
So at a high level, we want to receive that kind of feedback about whatever request is coming in from as many of you as possible, and understand how it can impact your business, how what it would take in terms of effort to make it happen. And then we have to kind of stack that against all the other things that everyone else is requesting and ideas that we have, and apply some analytical framework to this so that we can basically release things as they are most impactful and most applicable to as many people as possible. Chad, you can reveal the rest of the slide there.
Okay.
But in effect, we've got a product team that makes all these decisions, does this kind of research, does a lot of user research, usability research, talks with designers and our internal engineers, and also wants to talk to you and get an understanding from as many of you as possible as to how we should go about things. And then we present some of these ideas and plans that we have, the more formal plans that we have in front of you, like we are doing today in this webinar here. And so, if there are things that you hear from us in this webinar or elsewhere that strike you in some way, whether positive or negative, or you have something you want to say or cheer us on or throw tomatoes at us, then we'd encourage you to do so and let us know your feedback, because it's only with that feedback, with that candid feedback from you, that we can make better judgments, better decisions about which direction to go and what to do with the limited resources that we have, this month, next month, and next quarter, and so on. But rest assured that we're trying to take as much feedback from you as possible and trying to make the best decisions as possible as to what to release next. And
Yeah,
there's a very long list of easy things to do and complex things to do, and we have to juggle all that together to release things that are most impactful to you.
yeah. I would also say this is another thing that's changed, kind of like we were saying, we're going much faster now. Before, basically, I made this decision myself. It was a one man. Now we have teams of people that are looking at this, that are talking to people. So this is another place where things have changed. And we have a products team that this is all they do is think about this. And before, this was only part of what I did, right? On top of everything else. So a lot more focus on how this it's a lot more structured and better. They've brought a better way of doing this to QFloors. And I know also the whole executive team, they can also help impact a vision of where we're going to. So it's really good. I really appreciate this process and how it's changed. So thank you. All right, here's some more questions. We talked about this, about the browser based thing. How long will customers need to use Windows app? It will gradually go away, right? Our goal is the users that use the most browser-based features, we're going to focus on those first, moving the most users we can off of QFX. So some users will still continue to use it while the majority will be moved off, like the sales teams and stuff like that. And by the way, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you can log into QFX outside of the Windows app. You can use a browser and go just on the browser address line. It's qfloors.cloud, I believe, is the address. If you go onto that on your browser, you can bypass Windows app. It doesn't do everything. Like, I don't think you can print from there and things like that, but you can already bypass that if you want. So that's kind of just, I don't know if everybody knew that.
Worth also mentioning here on that one in particular, that this is all going to happen automatically, like as we're moving away from the Windows app progressively. So as Chad was talking about, there's going to be more and more features that are moving off of the Windows app and onto browser, like full browser versions. That's all happening automatically. You don't have to worry about that. There's no migrations that need to be done at this point. There's no complexity or effort on your end. It's just happening automatically. So as you log into QFX, you get all the benefits, always the newest version.
All right. Will the document manager, QReporter, and QSched eventually be replaced? Yes. We are in the process and looking. We already talked about the QSched earlier in this, the document manager. You know how we were kind of copying back and forth right there. We know that that's just a temporary solution. We're not suggesting that that's the long-term solution. We are looking to replace that, and QReporter is already in the process of being replaced. The new e-signature features uses our new reporting program. So it's already, all three of these are already in the process. So it'll be a gradual thing over time, but you're already starting to see these being replaced. When we don't actually have an end date for any of these, but it feels to me, by the end of the year, a lot of these things probably won't be here anymore. The one that might take the most time is QSched. So when will customers be able to customize the body of the text? This is coming, so they're talking about in QReporter being able to do their own custom things. We're already working on this. I don't think we have a projected end date, but some of this will already be happening in the e-signature stuff that's coming in, where you'll be able to put your own terms and stuff in there. And by the way, when you do the body of the text, you're going to be able to format it, in HTML. So that means bold and underline and different fonts and that kind of a thing. So this is already in the works. Full customization type things. I don't know I didn't hear the exact. We've started working on it, so I'm guessing it's a Q3, Q4 type of thing. In our previous Q Cloud, we were able to have two QFloors windows open at the same time. Now we can only have one. This question kind of came in late. I was talking to our engineers this morning, and we believe that you can be in a Windows app session and then go to the browser one that I just talked about with a separate user and have two screens, two QFloors QFX sessions up at one time on the same computer. We're going to test that out, but just know that we believe that that's possible if you had an extra user. In the past, people were doing that. They were maybe running B2B on one screen while they were still doing other work on another screen, and we believe that's still possible. So we'll get you more information on that, but you would need two user accounts to do that. How do I run my business if QFX goes down? I wanted to talk about this a little bit. By the way, these are all questions that we picked out of what you were asking us. Everybody, no matter what, should have contingency plans. If something did happen, you want to make sure that you can still run your business, right? And that's even if you had it locally installed. It doesn't matter where your technology is running, right? So it's not just QFX. This would be, how do I run my business if I can't access my technology, even if I'm not on QFX? This principle applies. You need to be able to write up a sales order. So we've always encouraged people to have paper sales orders available that you could at least write up documents if something were to happen, right? Or some contingency plan to be able to write up an order outside of your current technology. Number two, you need to be able to take a payment. And with our QPay platforms and the things that we have there, you can go outside of QFloors and take payments and things like that. You don't have to be in QFX or in QFloors to be able to take a payment. So we have that one solved with QPay. And then the other thing is you need to know what you need to install. So any kind of installation schedule or anything that you have, you should be printing those out on a very frequent basis. If you have them electronically, you should put those print those out on pieces of paper or bring them somewhere where you have access to them, so that you know what to install. So, and because most of these contingency plans are for temporary outages, right? They're, if you're out a year, then, the nuclear bomb went off or something like that. But these are our short-term contingency plans that you all should have in place. in order to keep operating your business. And those are the three things: write up an order, take a payment, know what you need to install. All right, know what your schedules are. Um, what are
And
we doing?
Chad,
Yeah, go ahead.
maybe also sorry, maybe also worth mentioning. I know in case this question comes from some of the hiccups that we've had since we launched QFX, especially, we had some more hiccups in the fall of last year. Worth mentioning that in no time we have any complete system outages, right?
That's right.
Like I know we've had sporadic certain users who've been unable to log in here and there. At an organization, there might be an individual who couldn't log in, but others at the same organization could. And
Yeah, the system has never been
those
down.
are not good. We've made a lot of effort to get rid of them. The system's never been completely down, and we've improved the performance and stability of the system over time here. We're not happy even today with where it's at. Like we think there's a lot more room for improvement, but the whole system has not been completely down here, and so that's also noteworthy.
Yeah, the ones that were down, Pavel, were not on QFX.
Right.
Anybody that was down was outside of our Q. They were on our old technology partner. So some people might say that isn't true, but no, it's QFX has not ever been down. You're right. Thank you. What are we doing to back up the data? This is a really good question. It could get really complex, but I'm going to give you the uh, version that I can understand the best. So right now in QFX, we have two separate backups going. We have a backup that's on our Azure Microsoft platform, and it's it's one that we can access readily and get backups back up and forth going. It's designed to get the data back quicker if we ever needed it, if there was ever a problem. So we're backing the data up locally on our Azure platform, but we also have all of these backups are also going offsite to an AWS platform that is very secure. You can't override it. It's done the right way. So we've got backups going to all those places, right? And we feel very good about, and our whole Roomvo team, tech team feels very good about the security and how we're doing this. It's being done the right way and professionally done. And two of the most secure places, Microsoft and Amazon, right? So
Yeah, also worth mentioning on this front that this cloud infrastructure that QFX is on is used by the biggest companies in the world. We're talking about, you know, the publicly traded large banks and government institutions and Fortune 500 companies. We are using the same cloud infrastructure backbone that all of those are using. And so we are reaping the benefits of the security and reliability and performance of those systems. And so you can rest assured that there's a lot of attention and development going towards these platforms from those respective companies, with Amazon and Microsoft paying close attention to that. And we think those benefits carry over to all our customers, to all of you.
in other webinars, you mentioned autofill. We already talked about this. This was on the other slide. This is looking like a Q3 for the autofill addresses, real-time tax calculations, Google Maps. And then we talked about the APIs also already, and the beta thing there. All right. So we've been going about an hour and 10 minutes right now. I have not checked the other questions.
I know one of the questions was about the health dashboard, and that was earlier on in the presentation, wondering where that health dashboard is going to live. And the answer is it will be on our QFloors website. You'll be able to access it as well as anyone else to see what the status, what the health is of the system. So that's going to be on our website when we release that, and that's slated for July.
Okay, Francisco had a question about opening up his drive. We'll talk to him directly about that. So again, the same principle will apply if it's something that's specific to a person, we will address that with them. Where does QFloors QPro stand? Oh, so this sounds like a QPro question. People that are on QPro. Eventually, all of our QPro customers will be migrated over into QFX and to our new browser system. So we will address all QPro questions. There's still about 30 customers over there. We'll address those separately to those customers.
And in terms of the accounting on that, I think that is actually complete. It's just that QFX is the new modern platform that we are developing on going forward. So I think if you want the latest and greatest features and all the stability improvements and performance improvements, QFX is the platform that we are now investing in.
This one looks like a Roomvo CRM. Is there any customization available for the lead stages with the update? So this looks like a Roomvo Pro question. Do you have any information on that, Pavel? Do you know anything about that?
There is some customization available, and best to wait until next month when we fully release this, where we'll describe all of the extent to that. So hang tight, stay tuned, and we'll provide additional details when that's fully released.
Because there's a new Pro version coming out, Roomvo Pro version, right? CRM with a lot of new features in it.
So there's all those features all those CRM features are in Roomvo Pro, and basically the QFloors lead screen, everything you can do on the lead side is effectively going to be Roomvo Pro. So it's like you're going to start using Roomvo Pro and you won't even know it because it's all going to be one and the same. But in terms of the actual details of the customizations, we will describe that more fully as we release that next month. So hang tight.
Yep.
And there is some level of customization there that's available.
Yeah. Which the next question's about that is the goal to eliminate the QFX lead screen. Eventually, yes. The CRM doesn't have every feature of the QFloors lead screen yet, but as all the features are implemented in the CRM, then there will be no more need for the QFX lead screen. So eventually, yes, it will be replaced, as will all of the QFloor screens, right? Like all the QFX screens eventually will be in the browser. So that is the long-term goal, right? Did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, maybe just to clarify though, like we're not removing your ability to manage leads, we're actually enhancing it. So even though we might be replacing the screens or replacing the engines behind the screens that you see, you will obviously still have the ability to manage your leads and do everything that you've been able to do and then some.
Mm-hmm. We have the email capabilities all together so that when a change is made, I'm guessing in QFloors that users are updated. Yes, that's part of the roadmap in the future, but there's no, as we talked about how we prioritize and everything hasn't been prioritized yet. Exactly. Meaning I can't give you an exact date, but I know it's been talked about. There are some features that QFX.
I want to say it is our intention to do that. It is our intention
Yes.
to make the communication with your customers more seamless, more automated, and avoid kind of like, maybe forgetting to send certain emails or certain communication. And it's not only emails that we would be aiming at, it's also with the text messaging and other forms of communication. Like, we want to be able to enhance your communication with your customers in an easier way. That is the direction we're going in.
There are features that QFX does better than Roomvo on the lead screen, is what they're talking about specifically, where your sample is. Will all those features be in both in one system? So yeah, eventually, I think we just talked about this too. I'll reiterate that, eventually all of the features that are in QFX will be in Roomvo Pro. And until then, you can use either system seamlessly, right? If you want to use QFX, you can do it there. If you want to use Roomvo Pro, so you'll be able to do it in either place. But eventually, yes, the answer is yes. If we have Measure Square for a single user and now have QFX, will the upcoming efforts on your behalf with Measure Square benefit us or allow us to expand via QFloors to receive a better economy of scale? Any pricing benefits?
I would interpret this question as, are we going to get better pricing given the deeper integration we're having with Measure Square? And the short answer is no, nothing beyond what we currently get. What you're getting is a better user experience, a more seamless integration there. So as you use Measure Square and QFX, the systems are more deeply integrated and easier to use on both fronts. But there's no pricing impact to any of that. So you're getting more value for what you're paying, but the pricing isn't changing, and we are separate companies, so we can only control what we own, which is the QFX platform, and Measure Square obviously is responsible for their side of things.
Okay, good answer. With the installer view, will pictures be able to be uploaded from the salesperson and also the installer? I think that's so that the installer could see on their phone the pictures from the salesperson. I know that they're looking at the ability to save pictures from installer view. My understanding is they will be able to throw those down into Doc Manager. And I'm not sure about the other way around. I'm pretty sure that they'll do it both ways as they redo this product. So any pictures that you upload from installer view, you could see in Doc Manager, and then Doc Manager to installer view would be the same. And we already indicated that the time frame is third quarter, I believe, is what you were told, right, Pavel? If I remember right. So towards the end of the year, that should be done. When communicating between QFX and my computer, what would the primary reason for the system when communicating between QFX and my local computer? So this is kind of the demo I just did. What would be the primary reason for the system to take an extensive amount of time to locate my C or subfolders? It almost seems to lock up on a regular basis. It does take a lot of time to display the files back and forth. I think that our engineering team is still looking to speed some of that up. I mean, you saw it when I was doing it live. There is a delay there when you're looking back and forth between the folders, but it's because you're going from your local computer to a cloud. And anytime you're going to a cloud system, there is a delay there with any cloud system when you're trying to transfer files back and forth. So it's not just QFX. But I think there are some improvements that can be made. I know our engineering team is watching this video, and I know that they're aware of them. So we will continue to look at that. Yeah.
Maybe we should have the team reach out to this individual who asked this question, because it sounds like it could be something that's unique to them. It sounds like they're waiting a lot longer than you had to wait in the demo.
Maybe. I will tell you one thing that does cause it to go slower is if you're trying to access a drive that has, let's say, 200 folders, and then that's different than if you're trying to access a drive that has 2 folders, right? So the amount of local folders that you have trying to display, because the cloud is going down and trying to look at all of the files to display them for you. So if the more folders and files that you're trying to display on QFX, the slower that's going to go. So that is one answer. Reduce the number of folders that you're looking at when you're clicking in there, and that will speed that up. But on top of that, also, there are some technology things that we think that we can look at. They're still looking at them. They haven't. It's kind of like what Pavel was saying before. Are we satisfied where we're at? No, we're not. Are we still trying to improve? Yes, we are. But yes, they've got your name and number here, but I think that would be the answer, more global answer for everybody, because I think everybody is seeing some kind of a delay. So we'll get back with you, Todd. But thank you for bringing that up. On the print screen, there's a tab for email. On the print screen, there's a tab for email that report. Is there a plan to add standard messages or signatures that are saved and inputted into a message or a bot? So this is customization for emails and for reports. Yes, we've talked about that we have a new QReporter coming out. They're working on it right now. I don't think there's any end time, but we're already starting to use it with e-signatures. And so there's already a new reporter that's coming up that will be more configurable. At some point, will there be able to select multiple orders at one time? My boss wants to be able to remove all orders from our templates tab. And the only way to do this is to select them one by one. Okay, I think that's wanting to be able to void out more than one order at a time. No plan to do this right now. If there's a process that every order has to go through to be voided, and we're very specific on that. And so we would have to talk to you individually, but there's no plans for that. And there's reasons behind that, because in order to void something, there's very specific things that need to happen. Is there any way to send batch statements? Yes, there is. Contact our support department about sending batch statements. So that would be Natalie. Please contact them or we'll contact you. I've noticed that there is a section at the top of Chad's screen that has minimize, maximize buttons. My version does not. Is that something that's coming out soon? I'm guessing that's QFX. Is there a way to minimize QFX? Yes, it's just at the top. Again, our support department, this is something that they can help you with specifically if you just give them a call. And we've got your name. So if you want us to reach out to you, we can. Are you able to have a proposal that has just a total instead? So on e-signature questions, Marge, we'll answer all the e-signature questions. There's a lot of them. We'll answer all those next week on our webinar. That's why we had a separate webinar, is because we knew it'll probably take us just an hour to answer all those questions. Are you looking to acquire 2020 software? I'll let you answer that one, Pavel.
Maybe we can get together with Brian and see what he's trying to accomplish there.
I think we would have to acquire Syncly. I think they're ready for us to buy them. I think they're ready for it, right? 2020 is owned by Syncly. I don't know if you know that or not, but the person asking the question, but so
yeah.
grab them all at one time, right? Anyway, um, do we still need to be backing up in QFX? No. What we're doing is sufficient. We will be allowing people, though, to do their own backups if they want from QFX. It's a feature that's coming down the road. So if anybody wants to, but do you need to? Probably not. Cabinet integration for 2020. We sent out an email recently with a questionnaire about integration for cabinets, just trying to get a feel. It's kind of interesting. There are a lot of 2020 users out there, but there's also a lot of our customers that use other solutions. So we're trying to get kind of a feel for that. We have people that are working on that. It's not me specifically, but we have a team of people that are looking into cabinet software integration and what we might do there in the future. Did you want to add anything to that, Pavel? You might know more about that than I do.
Yeah, it'd be great to get a good sense of all the other technologies that our customers use. And in the case of integrating with other technologies or other technology providers, we are always very open and willing and eager to actually integrate with other tech providers because that ultimately adds more value to you, and that's the most important thing for us. The issue is that sometimes some tech providers are not as open and willing to integrate with us as we are with them. And in many cases, it does require like a two-way street, a two-way dialogue in order to integrate with them. And so we end up being hampered by some of that, but that's a case-by-case basis. And so I guess overall, we'd love to integrate with as many others technologies as possible, but it's just not always just doesn't always happen, unfortunately. And that's not as a result of anything we do. We're very happy and excited to do it. Just they aren't.
Yeah. Are there any more changes coming with regard to the program aesthetics? I know our products team is on this call, so we'll gather this information and pass that on to them. But for example, you're giving some very specific examples here. We'll make sure that they catch up with you and give you a call about what you're looking at. I know this particular person has already been in contact with our products team. So if you just relay this information to them, to the people that you've been dealing with, I think that would be great to get the information right to them. With the CRM changes, all right, we talked about this, about CRM contacting customers through email and text. Yes, that's on the docket. All of that is on the docket. Is there a place to have customers sign the credit card receipt and send it back into QFloors?
Maybe
No,
we could find out the reason for wanting to do this, because
yeah,
with electronic signatures, this shouldn't be necessary, right?
exactly. It isn't necessary. It isn't necessary. It's something people have requested, but with the e-signature product, now you have an electronic signature that does the same thing. Here's something that maybe not very many people know. In 20, I could be off a year or two here. In 2016 or 2017, the credit card industry and the government and everybody made it so that you did not have to sign um, credit card receipts for them to be legally binding, meaning that a credit card purchase without a receipt is the same without a signature is the same exact one with a signature. There is no difference. The legally binding part is no different. And so that came out many, many years ago in an attempt to have people stop printing credit card receipts, and stuff like that. So that's part of the answer. But the other part is with our new e-signature stuff, you should be able to get a signature on the contract, which will also suffice for that. So we're not looking to do that. Our credit card You can print out a receipt from QFloors and have them sign it already, and then scan it back and put it back in QFloors, but it's not necessary. We are not voiding it. It's off of the template. Somebody will need to contact you directly, Natalie. And it seems pretty specific to your store. Will you be writing a user's manual? You want to comment on written users manuals, Pablo? I don't want to talk. I'll let you give your kind of or philosophy on written manuals. Printed out manuals or PDF manuals, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I've got some initial thoughts on this, more philosophical, but basically, we'd love for the software to be so easy and intuitive to use that you don't need to read a manual in order to use it. Also, with the direction that we're going in terms of AI and being able to get assistance through our technical support team, for example, like if there's something you don't know how to do, we encourage you to actually contact us, contact our support team. The wait times are quite low. Could be lower, but the wait times are quite low, and you can get a quick answer to your question if you need some help, and we encourage you to do that. And then with the direction we're going in terms of AI, we want you to be able to just ask your question. Hey, I want to do, I want to do this. I want to do a batch state. I want to send a batch statement, and then the AI will tell you exactly how to do it. And ideally, we have some nice quick video tutorials to show you how to do that, etc. So we have maybe a short answer to this is at a high level, we have a philosophical aversion towards creating some big user manual that is almost automatically obsolete and outdated as soon as we release new products and features, which is all the time.
Yep. At the speed that we're going, to maintain a user's manual like that. Now, that's not to say that we won't have documents and things on how to do stuff, and then AI will pull from all that, right, and give you your answers. But yeah, that is probably for the culture that we have in our company now, probably not very good, I would say. So that was a great answer. That would exactly what I would have said. So and how I feel about it. So good. All right. I think
Thank you all for attending. Really appreciate it, taking time out of your day from running your businesses to hear about some of the new updates that we have here. And again, we'd love to get your feedback. In case you didn't submit a question, then please do, and our team will answer that. And if you have feedback about things, if you have things you'd like to see in the software, if you have any insights for us about how that might be impactful for your business, then that is super valuable to us, and we incorporate all of that into the things that we do. So we really are grateful for your business and for your support.
all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
All right. See you later.
Bye for now.